Yo, hey man, what's good? It's your boy Vaughn, and in this video today, bruh, oh my gosh. In this video today, we got some DDG and Haley, however you say her name, Bailey, Little Miss Mermaid, man. The Little Mermaid that made all these Little Mermaid minions, whatever you want to call them, seahorses. Some, like, oh man, like, ever since they little, what was it, like a year ago, I think? I don't even know how long ago it was, but that they whole situation just seemed weird. Like, this the first streamer whose life we see on a daily basis, damn near, versus a movie star. She is a movie star celebrity who we see nothing of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so private, and now these two different worlds are colliding. I felt like it was just a weird thing to see. You know, shout out DDG, you know, staying 10 toes, not bashing this woman, because he didn't do that. Being, like, I want to say, being a real man, like a real father, you know. I feel like a lot of people know what's going on. Let's get into this breakdown real quick, but I ain't gonna do too much yapping, because this is gonna be like plain as day, like who right, who wrong, or who's more wrong than the other, whatever y'all want to go with.
Went through all these documents. Y'all ain't getting the voice for the people right now. Y'all getting Kim from New York, okay? Did she put the air tag in?
And I like that this is a woman saying it, because a lot of women, I say 90% of women got a hive mind, so they all gonna think alike. And then you got like the 10%, like this woman right here, who just finna speak her truth of what she's observing and witnessing and reading, you know. I want to hear a woman's perspective that's not biased. Basically, what I'm saying.
In the vitamin bottle in the.
She not a seahorse. She not a mini mermaid or whatever the hell them little people, them little minions called.
Popping up at the movie theater using the air tag. Okay, let's go do the beginning. So Hallie originally filed for full custody and a restraining order and child support, and she also asked the judge, can she take her son to Italy because she has to go to work for 2 months, and she's supposed to leave June 7th.
If y'all want to read this, you could pause it, but. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna read all of this, but yeah, there you go.
And DDG today filed for a restraining order in full custody, and he's also asking the judge not to allow her to go to Italy because he's saying that she self-harmed herself and that she has repeatedly done this throughout their relationship. Basically saying that the child is not protected in her custody, so she might not even go to Italy come June 7th. But when I tell you I read all these pages and my mouth was on the floor, and I mean, he had...
I think I seen something like his motion was accepted, or however the court system, like whatever the terminology is, like basically she not going to Italy with HALLE.
Text message after text message. Child, what the hell?
The messages get crazy, man.
From March 2022. This is before the pregnancy. This is their first incident where she didn't trust him. She basically was accusing him of cheating, and they got into this big argument, and he left, and she said that she was going to off herself. So she was basically using this tactic to try to get him to come back and, you know, make him feel guilty for leaving in the first place. So she has been doing this throughout their relationship. Then DDG also mentioned when he DM'd Ruby Rose, and Hallie was very upset. They got into this big, huge argument behind it. She ended up texting
over a DM, bro. Like, even if it wasn't business related, like, you doing all of this over a nigga DMing another bitch, bro. Like, is that serious? Wow.
Well, he didn't put who the person was, but Baby Rich already hinted at it already. She ended up texting Brent Fires that night to go to a Grammys party just to get back at DDG. Now, DDG was done with the relationship at that point, but she...
So, you can go overly insane, threatening to off yourself, unalive yourself, all of that, hurt the baby, like, huh? But you still go and get back at the same time.
He was trying to get even though she did that, she was trying to get back with him, and she yet again was using the self-harming tactic that she does. But now let's talk about the actual pregnancy. One night, Halle called DDG and said that she was bleeding and having cramps. So he called the GYN, and this was early on in her pregnancy. He called the GYN and found out that she took an abortion pill, and that's why she was bleeding and cramping, because she was trying to get rid of the baby, because she was upset. And according to DDG, she was using the pregnancy to try to manipulate him. You know,
whoa, I ain't even know. Now I'm gonna just keep listening.
When he didn't do what she want him to do, she would threaten him and say that she's gonna get rid of the baby. And they already had a conversation about co-parenting if things didn't work out. I guess Halle didn't want to do that, so she had the pill without notifying him, and then he found out about it. And then, you know, they got into this argument, and then he didn't want to talk to her no more. But then she felt some type of way about the situation, and she wanted to really be with him. And now she's trying to go to the medical appointments so she can keep her baby and make sure that the baby wasn't harmed, which she kept reassuring DDG that the baby was okay. The pill didn't do anything because she didn't take the second pill. But at this point, he was upset, because if we already had a discussion and you got upset, and based off of you getting upset for that very moment, and you ready to make a big change or make this drastic decision without me, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was...
She, and I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened. This is just my small 2 cents in this whole thing that really don't matter. But it seemed like she was ready to jump into the, like, she did not hesitate. Bruh, like, this woman is really dangerous as fuck, bruh. She got mad that a nigga, that she felt some type of way about a nigga, whatever. Immediately popped up. She immediately popped that bitch, bruh. It sounded like it wasn't really no thought into it. Just straight get back energy.
Together. More toxic shit was going on. They ended up getting into an argument again. They ended up breaking up. At this point, Halle is well off into her pregnancy, and they're now broken up again. And DDG, who now has more time on his hands, is going to the studio. He's hanging out with his friends. And there was an incident where he went to a movie theater. Halle popped up at the movie theater because he was there with a girl, but he said in the statement that this was just a friend. But Halle is like 6+ months at this point, so she's very upset because they're not together, and then you're out and about with somebody else. But he not knowing how she even knew that they were at this movie. Come to find out, she was putting air tags in all his cars. DDG was wondering why he was getting notification that an air tag was tracking him when he didn't have an air tag. It was her air tag.
If y'all don't know, if there's an air tag in a vehicle that you in, or like close nearby while you like on the road driving and shit, if you got an iPhone, your phone will notify you that there's like a signal, like a tag close. Even if you don't, like, even if it's not yours, your phone will still tell you that there's a tag. You feel me?
She put it in the car inside of a vitamin bottle, knowing he wasn't gonna look at no vitamin bottle. And she put it inside of the car, and the air tag was tracking where he went. When Halle arrived at the movie theater, sis was turning up. Okay, sis was screaming before she even got in. She opened the door and didn't even know where he was at. She said, "Motherfucker, motherfucker." Sis was going off using every profanity word she could think of inside that movie theater. It was so bad that DDG and the girl had to get up and leave, where she ended up following behind them and was still cursing them out, calling them all type of names.
Imagine seeing the Little Mermaid doing
this.
Put
hands on the girl. The girl had to kind of move it. You know, she ain't trying to fight Halle, because at this point, Halle is good and pregnant at this point. She got a whole belly. I don't even understand how we didn't even capture this footage. Okay?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
In the movie theater.
Thank
Child,
you.
You know, something like that. People ready.
Thank you.
They don't even know who you are. They ready to throw their camera
now
up.
I'm thinking this
The
fake.
Little Mermaid was turning up in the movie theater, honey. She ain't care about who the hell she was at that moment. Y'all was about to feel his wrath. Now let's fast forward a little bit, because after she gave birth to Halo, before she even gave birth to Halo, at this point, DDG felt like he had to be with her. And
if you want to read all of these, you could pause it. You feel me? But I'm just gonna keep the video going.
Order for her not to do something to harm their child or herself. And she knew this, and she was trying to use this as a manipulation tactic to try to keep him, basically, because at that point he was done with her. You screaming at me, you're beating on me, you pulling out knobs, you're trying to cut me up. Child, DDG at some point was done. But he...
Hold on, wait. The bottom right, it say, okay, I gave you a chance. You ruined my whole day. I have to work. Your computer is broken now. Goodbye.
couldn't be completely done because now you done welcomed a baby in this situation. They had the baby, right? And everything was going well. They were still trying to make things work. And then another incident
You're
happened
going to
where
him
they got
go
into
through life
another
without a
argument,
mom.
and now firearms were pulled out because DDG has a firearm,
I have
and
to call the
Halle knows
police. I
that, and
can't
she
let this
stays in the
happen.
house. Allegedly, she pulled out the firearm because he already left the house, and she left the house with the firearm looking for him and wondering where he was at. And according to him, he said that she was insecure. She always thought he was cheating on her. She always thought that he was doing something other than what he was saying. So sis was just... it was just a lot. She's driving in the car after an argument with HALLE in the back. She's crying, yelling at him on the phone. At this point, DDG is scared for his son's life and her life because she's mad and yelling and driving fast, you know, and he's on the phone. He can't do nothing about it. And then another incident kept happening, and then it just keep reoccurring at this point. It is coming too close together. Before, it was like, you know, we had some gaps in between. We have little arguments, blowouts and stuff like that, and it had some time. And now it's reoccurring too fast. Okay, she's hitting him and slapping him in front of the family. She's calling him all type of names. The son is there. He sees this. It's just becoming too toxic. And at this point, DDG had to walk away from the situation. They broke up. They went their own separate ways. This is when she bought her house. He bought his penthouse. But Halle is saying that she is the primary parent, and she's trying to control the situation according to DDG. She doesn't allow DDG to see the child as punishment because he didn't do what she wanted him to do. And at this point, it was becoming tiresome. Y'all know he came to the internet. Now fast forward to the incident that she brought up in her statement when he went to go pick up HALLE, because she said that he could stay overnight. And when he was picking up HALLE and she had HALLE in her arms and she wanted to put the baby in the car, he said in the midst of them having a conversation, he saw that she was getting agitated and frustrated, and he really didn't want to have the conversation. And it started to escalate. They started to argue, and she refused to get out the car. She ended up locking herself in the car. Then he ended up calling his mom because he didn't know what to do in the situation. So the mom was here for everything. So I'm pretty sure we gonna have the mom testify because he called his mom for everything. Oh, let's go back because there was so much that happened. I forgot about this part.
Damn, bro,
Halle
like
Bailey
this,
and HALLE went to a Bruno Mars concert, and at the concert, I don't know what happened, but Halle ended up getting upset and she wanted to leave the concert early. So they ended up leaving the concert early, but then they ended up getting into an argument, and it got so bad to the point that DDG had to pull over his car and start recording because she started becoming violent while he was behind the wheel, and HALLE is in the car. So at this point, he's recording the whole situation with HALLE in the back, and he has that as proof and evidence to show that she does do these random outbursts. Now, this is just the transcript of what was said on that video, but he has the actual video of Halle going off of him. So DDG is the respondent and she's the petitioner. He said, "You keep hitting me." She said, "You stupid bitch. You keep hitting me." Cheating. So something happened that night when she thought that he cheated on her. I don't know if she was looking through his phone because he said that in the statement as well, that she would randomly look at his phone. She would destroy his computer, his laptop. She had a problem with everybody that he collabed with. That's why he rarely collabed with women at the time that they were together. But I felt like they both had issues when it came to that, because he had a problem with her kissing and doing things on film, and she had a problem with him collabing with females, which I mentioned this before, which a lot of people was like, "Oh no, she don't have no problem." Yes, she does. Secretly.
Yeah, I mean, he had a problem with it, and my dog dropped the song and got over it, bruh. I forgot what type of love song, like he like Kissing in the Movies or whatever that shit was. My dog dropped the song and it was over with. He did a collab with some females and he got stabbed, and the baby finna get unalived, and she trying to jump off bridges, and like, that's not comparable.
Really, she was yelling at him. She was insecure. She didn't want him to work with other females. And this is why towards the end of their relationship, it didn't work out, because he was trying to collab and get his streaming career up, and she didn't like that. So this is why they had all these issues. Okay, so pretty much he's saying, "You hitting me." She's hitting him. She's calling him all type of names. She's telling him he's cheating, and you know, they're going back and forth. It got to the point where he ended up calling his mom again. And like I said, she has been in the midst of this situation yet again. The mom and George had to pop up and de-escalate the situation because they're going back and forth and it's becoming too toxic. So this was a reoccurring thing throughout their relationship that he mentioned he got evidence for, he got receipts for. Now back to the incident that happened in January when he had to go
Little
pick up
Mermaid
Halo from Halle Bailey's house, and Halle Bailey and DDG ended up arguing because they were talking about visitation and a schedule, which I don't know, in my opinion, I just think their careers is too demanding to have a schedule. But anyway, they got into an argument. They were going back and forth. Halle locked herself in the...
Wait, hold up. Did she say their careers are too demanding to have a schedule? That's like the perfect reason to have a schedule. Did I hear her right?
Visitation and a schedule, which I don't know, in my opinion, I just think their careers is too demanding to have a schedule. But anyway,
that's why you make a schedule.
they got into an argument. They were going back and forth. Halle locked herself in the car. DDG called his mom. The mom was trying to de-escalate the situation. It didn't work out. They ended up going back and forth. Finally, some way he got into his car. She got mad. She lunged herself to the front of the car trying to attack him. Ended up hitting her mouth on the steering wheel. He said it wasn't him that hit her mouth. She hit her own mouth when she was trying to lunge at him. And she ended up falling because she was in the middle console and she was trying to attack him, and she ended up falling on the wheel and she hit her own mouth. He showed scratches where she scratched him during the altercation because she was trying to grab him, and he was just trying to get away from her. Now the whole ride back to his house, because she said that she stayed in the house, she was quiet. She was in the back seat. She was with their son, and they got to the house. He went inside with his son and she stayed outside and talked to his mom. She talked to the sister. He said he got this on camera, which that's more evidence. And DDG's sister Titi ended up driving her home. They have evidence to show that she was outside the house talking and she was calm. Now this is the part of the text messages that just took me out. Sister said a whole bunch of stuff in the midst of a conversation. This happened August 23rd, 2022. DDG responded to a text message. He said, "Phone is on airplane mode. I'm not letting you ruin my day over that BS. The trust issues are becoming overwhelming. Maybe that's for the best. I put in too much time and effort into making you happy to have to deal with this BS every other day. And in your eyes, you're never wrong. It's frustrating. I'm over it. I'm no longer entertaining this argument. I need to work on becoming more successful like Jay-Z, like you said." What? Sis was trying to get on Jay-Z, baby. Now, this is another text message where Halle is talking. She said, "You put your phone on airplane mode and say you're not dealing with it. But when something bad happens, don't say anything, because this was my attempt to beg you to listen to me, to just answer the phone, to just hear me, and to try to understand where I'm coming from. But you don't, and you'll regret it. You'll regret ever meeting me. Go back to those B's you're used to." So Halle actually texted him after the incident in February. This happened in January when she was saying that her tooth got chipped. She texted him and she talked about the incident. She said, well, he responded. He said, "You didn't talk about Halo for almost 2 minutes. That whole conversation was about girls. I'm working. I don't know what to tell you." Halle says, "Every day I want to die because of the way you embarrass me online and allow other women to speak on me. I keep going because of how much I love my son." DDG responded, "I have $40,000 in bills every month. I have no choice but to work." DDG responded back, "Send me the clip of the girl disrespecting you. I'll give you $10,000 if you can." Now this happened last year.
Nah, DDG be flexing money on. Hey, shout out DDG, bro. Like
Mother's Day, when she took his weapon.
This nigga be flexing. This nigga throw money at everybody. Ain't nobody safe.
And he texted her, "If you don't come back here, I'm gonna call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. You have a son. I know you took my weapon. You're gonna let him go through life without a mom? I have to call the police. I can't let this happen."
You ever been in a moment in time, like in your life, where it was just everything was just so overwhelming, but you felt like you couldn't tell nobody, rather it be because they wouldn't believe you, or they would think you crazy, or like you just didn't feel comfortable, well, like whatever the reason, right? You didn't, and it felt like it was killing you from the inside. I feel like that's how DDG felt, you know. Like, I wish the best regards to Halle too, Halle, cause boy, that is not. If you dealing with stress like that, you the Little Mermaid. I know everybody human. You know, everybody got emotions. Everybody go through shit. But you're the Little Mermaid. And you with DDG. Your son got a Lambo when he turned 1. You feel me? Your sister is also very popular. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever she done been through, boy, that Rock Nation shit, Shout out Soul. That Rock Nation shit. You heard she said she want that nigga to be like Jay-Z. That means she thinks she Beyonce. Make sure you thank Beyonce. But all this is just crazy, bro. But let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this video, make sure you like and subscribe too. Drop a video every day. Come on, man. You know how we coming. If you already been watching, you know what it is. It's your boy Vaughn. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one though, bro. Love.
Hey, teach me how to take it. Hey, baby, like smoke.